Good morning. Just gotta get everything to sync up. Oh boy. Seeing everybody's kid pics going back to school. All right, there we go. All right, yeah, so good morning. Happy Monday. What are we at? September 14th. We're halfway through September. Someone's watching on Facebook. So happy Monday. Happy first full week of school for a lot of people out there. You know, it's the time has come. Hopefully, if you're doing in school, if you're attending school in person, you know, do what you can to keep it safe. Otherwise, it might get shut down sooner than later, or at least resort to the World Wide Web, which, good morning, Becky. Good morning, Deborah. Deb, I hope, Deb had a bear. I wish I could do that. I wonder if I can. Deb had a bear like walking across the road in her development the other day. And that's exciting to me because she's been telling me that she doesn't feel comfortable running outside, because there's a bear in the neighborhood. And I'm like, I don't believe her. I've heard a lot of excuses in my day, but then she sent proof. So Deb is forgiven from running for now. Thanks. I love the sweatshirt too. Got it from my guys at CNY Racing. Joe Woodworth and friends own CNY Racing. It's funny, they've been known to support and produce medals, t-shirts, finishers, like hats, things of that nature for a lot of running and cycling events. And it's funny because CNY Racing used to make all of the clothing for one Willow Running Club. Willow Running Club is the one running club I would tell all of you to never participate in one of their events. And that's going to be today. So thanks for asking about the sweatshirt, Deb. But no, seriously, I was going to talk about this because Corey asked yesterday about how my bike race went. And for those of you who were paying attention last week, I was heckled by Matt Shore to do a race. So come on, do a race. Come race with me up in Old Forge. It's the Old Forge gravel grinder. Well, Ed hadn't been riding his fat bike since May. Ed doesn't have a gravel bike yet. So Ed went and rode his fat bike and said, you know what, I think I can do 150. So he signed up. And this is the last race that I will do that Matt recommends. No, in all seriousness, we were told that we were going to meet at the Old Forge Rec Center, and we were going to ride to the start with all of us wearing our buffs that were provided. I would wear my buff, but I was never given one. So apparently they forgot them. So that was like, okay, shit happens. So we rode to the start. We do our wave start. So like the superhuman gravel grinders went first, and then semi-superhuman people like me go second, and then just superhumans like Matt go third. And so we all kind of like self-selected, and I was like, I've never done one of these, so I don't know where to go. So I'm standing right here, and someone said this is number 2, so I'll go in number 2. So we're hammering, we're doing good. I absolutely loved it, by the way. I've never done a gravel race. I believe, let me see if I can see who's watching. Okay, Beth's not watching. So I'm already shopping for a new bike after one race because I really enjoyed it. However, I still really like the fat bike idea. I don't want to go back to a mountain bike because then I feel like I have to ride like single track and stuff, and that doesn't interest me. So anyway, we are 6 miles, 7 miles in, and the sign that they nicely put up telling us which way to go said to go left. So we go left. And I was in like second place of the second group, so probably like, I don't know, top 15 overall or something. I was first place in fat bike division. So we all go left and we ride about 2 miles left. And then all of a sudden, all like the people start coming back down the hill. And I was like, well, this is a weird spot to have an out and back. And they're all like, we're going the wrong fucking way. I'm like, oh, this sucks. And I was like 3/4 up a climb. So I'm like, well, I can't stop mid climb. I might as well just walk right up to the rest of the climb, turn around, come down. Adam Rosinski's like, Ed, where are you going? And I was like, I'm not stopping on this climb. I was like, I got to finish the climb. So I finished my climb, turn around, we go back down. Everybody like kind of like, now we're like catching, now everybody's basically together. It's giant shit show for about 30 minutes. And then we figure out where we went wrong, which was, 2 miles back. And so now everybody's pissed off. It becomes a $60, you're lost in the fucking Adirondack Park ride. But now we're back on course, and all of a sudden, like, we're all just like, let's just get the hell out of here. This is just stupid. So then we finish. Race directors aren't anywhere to be found. No finishing medal, which again, I don't care about the finishing medal. But Jerry was like, did you win? And I was like, I actually did. I won for as far as I'm aware, like they won't post results apparently, because again, it's just a shitty run organization over at Willow Running Events. So results aren't posted. There's no one there to say who won what. I'm in a fat bike division, but I don't know if that matters or not. So end of the day, they didn't have any medical there. They didn't have any water out on course. They were supposed to give you a buff at the start. They were supposed to give you, if you finished in under an hour and 50 minutes, this cool hammer, which most of us would have. They only had like a dozen of them. So that was pretty shitty planning on their part, which should have been an indicator. Matt did get to ride with me. We rode together for a little bit, and then he was just bitching and moaning the whole time, so I just rode away from him on my extremely heavy fat bike. So which is why I need to buy a newer, lighter fat bike. So again, like, and I emailed the race director and told him just my utter disappointment in his organization, knowing that he comes from a cycling background. And he came right out and told me, he's like, yeah, we knew we were going to have problems. We've had problems with the locals, through this whole time. And I'm like, I don't know, food for thought. Put additional measures in place so that on race day, and they didn't even have anybody like sweeping the course. So when I left Old Forge, which was at, I don't know, man, I was talking to you, I think we left at like 2:15. There were still people out on the course. The race started at 10. And again, there's no water out on course anywhere. Just piss poor organization, piss poor management. You've had all year. This is something this was on my radar to do as part of my team, my Syracuse bike team race. A group of us were going to do it. We talked about this in February. So you've had since February to get these kinks worked out. And let's not use the excuse that you've been super busy with all of your other races, because you haven't. So again, just complete disappointment in the whole thing. But I will say, I absolutely loved riding the gravel. So on that note, if anybody has a Trek Farley EX 9.8 small or medium full suspension fat bike, please message me because I want to buy it. Otherwise, I got to buy a Lemaire, which is fine because it's the lightest fat bike you can buy. But either way, I will say that is my style of racing. Like when I grew up mountain biking, we used to have to ride a lot of old logging roads, and I really like riding that. I like it almost as much, or if not more, than single track. So I would do a lot more of it, but I like it on a fat bike. I like to have a little plush ride going on. And, you know, I think it's a little bit more challenging in some aspects because you've got the fatter tires, so you got increased rolling resistance and depending on tire size and stuff. So, yeah, you're welcome. Of course, last time you wanted a new bike, we ended up with a pair of Amandas. I love mine, you hated yours, and then you got another Madone. So, all right, so now we are looking for 2 Trek Farley 9.8 EX full suspension fat bikes. Matt probably will run a large. So we need a small, a medium, and a large, preferably, if anyone out there has them for sale. So on that note, that's how the weekend went. So I believe I won the fat bike division, and what I got for that was nothing, which again, I don't really care because all of my medals go to the boys. And I will say thank you to Matt because Parker was elated at the start. Like I rode by him and he was like bouncing up and down. And to me, you know, Jerry's got like such an old man personality. He's probably analyzing people's pedal strokes as they ride by. Parker's just like, I just want to go and like ride with him. So, you know, that was, you know, that kicked off my day. And then they saw me finish and they're like, there's Daddy. And Beth didn't realize that that was actually me, which is pretty hard to do. But in any event, you know, that's Beth. She typically is like that at races. You know, but at least the boys knew that their dad crossed the finish line. But so yeah, that was a recap of the other day. So food for thought to start your Monday, because obviously like that all sounds very sour and very bitter. And I told Rich Carraz, one of the race directors yesterday, I go, Rich, you know, you did a really shitty job as a race director. I still like you as a guy and I want to go ride bikes with you. I'm just not going to do one of your races. Like I don't hold grudges in that regard. Like I don't think you're a bad human. I think the people over at Willow running events, you know, they're shady at best. And I will never do one of their events. But if I saw them out in public, I probably wouldn't talk to them. Or I'd just be like, hey, thanks for sending me my $60 back because your race totally wasn't worth it because, you know, it was a shit show. But you know, think of this as, you know, it was for me, it was an opportunity for growth. It was an opportunity to do something I've never done before. And honestly, like that's the most important thing is I had a really good ride yesterday, got about 30 miles in and on gravel roads, which some of them were very gravel. You know, and I challenged myself in a way that, I mean, obviously I knew I could do it. I didn't know how I could do with it. I believe I probably would have come in at like 145, you know, in the low 140s if we didn't get lost. And we got to ride with friends. And I met some new people. I don't know whatever that Asian girl's name was, Matt, from Trek New Hartford. I got to see some of the guys from the Trek New Hartford team as well. So, you know, Ulf did a great job out there. One of the UHP guys. So, you know, it was fun. It was just a disappointment in how it was managed and how they handed it, you know, how they dealt with everything at the end as well. So, you know, but again, you know, none of us are professionals. So, I mean, I guess they're supposed to flying sausage. Okay. I met a girl whose first name's Flying, last name Sausage, or Sauce for short. You know, so, you know, none of us are pros except for Jordan, but Jordan, even with 2 flat tires, 7P brakes, a nap in the woods, and getting lost, still beat everybody by, I think, 18 minutes. So, you know, he was the only pro there. But it was fun no matter what, because now I'm starting to look for more gravel races, and I'm thinking like, man, Shackham's full of gravel roads. I easily did 20 miles up there the other day without working to get 20 miles, and there's at least 4 other roads that I didn't explore. So anyone looking to try gravel, come ride Shackham with me and Matt, because I know Matt wants to go. So that's it for today. Be nice to one another. Practice your social distancing. If your kids are going back to school virtually full time today, remember, please practice patience. The teachers, they don't have a clue as what they're doing because, you know, no one really knows what they're doing. And frankly, you know, we don't have a lot of options. So patience is a virtue, and patience must be practiced. You know, stay positive, stay happy, and I will see all you cool cats mañana.